So I want to show us how to draw a sketch. Everything in Onshape starts with a sketch that we turn into a three-dimensional drawing. So we have our work planes here, the front, the top, and the right. We need to choose which one we're going to sketch on. For this specific one, we'll just pick the front plane to do our sketch on. So I can click the sketch button on the top left, and then I click the plane that I want to work on. I click front. Now, it's not going to change the view, so what I need to do is go to the navigational cube and click the view that I have chosen, to the plane that I've chosen to sketch on. In this case, it's the front view. So I click front. If this is too zoomed in, I can zoom out a little bit. Remember, we're not constricted to this specific area. It means we're drawing now on the front plane. So our toolbar has changed. These are all our sketching icons. Up here is our line tool, rectangle, circle, arc, polygon, spline. There's a few different other tools. Now, if we want to draw a simple shape, like a circle, all we need to do is click the circle icon. Now it's activated. I can click anywhere on this plane. So I click once and release, and I can stretch this out to the size I want it to be. We don't need to worry about the dimensions now. We can add that after. So I just click, drag once and click. Now I can type in, while that's still the dimension line has a white box around it, I can type in the dimension. So maybe I want the circle to be 2 inches. I can type in 2 and hit enter. In that little gray line, that black line with the arrows is our dimension line. So that is telling us that this circle is 2 inches in diameter. I can also click and drag while I'm still in this command and draw several circles. And what you can do after you draw these circles, you can define them after. You can add the dimensions after you draw them. So I could draw a bunch of shapes, a bunch of circles for whatever reason, and I could add dimensions to these later on. So now maybe I want to make this circle over here 1 inch. Up on the toolbar here, there's an icon called the dimension icon. This allows us to determine the size. So I click this dimension icon. Now I click the circle that I want to dimension. So I click the outside here of this circle, click once, drag out, click again, and I can type in the dimension that I want this to be. So say I want this circle to be 1 inch. I type in 1, hit enter. Now I'm still in the dimension tool, so I can do this to all the circles. I could change this to, maybe I want this to be 2.5. I could type in 2.5. It will change the dimension. So I can do this to all these. Maybe I want this to be 3. I can change the dimensions after I draw the specific sketch. So that's for a circle. Now, if I want to draw something that isn't a circle or isn't a predetermined rectangle, I would like to draw my own shape. You can use a combination of the line and the arc tools. I want to show you how to use the line tool. So what I can do is I can click the line tool up here in the top. This allows me to click and drag, and it's going to stay in the line command until I hit the escape button. But this allows me to draw straight lines, angles, right? So you can kind of create whatever shape you want. And you can add the dimensions after. You can add the dimensions as you go, or you can draw them in after. Typically, when we're sketching, we draw the shape first. So I would draw, say I wanted to draw a little random shape here to show you. I draw the shape first, and then I can add the dimensions after. So say I wanted to draw I'll make an L shape here. So I'll create an L, make sure all these lines are straight. Now I can add the dimensions after. So I hit the dimension key tool again up in the toolbar, and I can add dimensions to the shape that I just drew. So I can go over to each of these lines. So say I want to dimension this line here. I can click the line once, drag up, click again, type in the dimension. Maybe I want this line from this point to this point, 1 inch. So I can type in 1 inch. And I can do this for all the lines. I can click point to point, or I can click the line itself. So if I click this point and then this point, drag out, I can say maybe I want this to be 4 inches. This allows me to dimension my drawing. So that's how we make a two-dimensional sketch. Again, the takeaways from this are you can either use the predetermined shape, the rectangle, the circle, right? Or you can use the line tool. The goal is to roughly draw out your shape first, and then use the dimension tool to dimension the specific size of your drawing after.